18th of April, and we're sitting in a car going to Monaco to the gravel race. We're already close to the sea, as you can see. Oh, it's cool, yeah. It was not an easy decision because after the last race, I was not sure to do another race before the Truck Cup. So now it's Monaco World Series gravel race. Friday is always normally the travel day. And yeah, we started pretty early at 6 o'clock in the morning. We met and we jumped into the car, packed everything and moved. And so far it's not so bad, the trip. We had a few traffic jams, a little bit of delay, but not too bad. And I think it would be in total maybe 9 hours. Yeah, pretty decent travel day. Yeah, now the World Series race, gravel Monaco is it called. Yeah, I think it's a perfect race. Also a different course than the last race at the Wörthersee. It's more climbing. It's actually it's like nearly a marathon race, like I'm used to do, and I think it fits perfectly into the race calendar. It's like 2 weeks from the Wörthersee gravel, and now another 2 weeks to the Truck Cup, to the first main big race in Europe, gravel race. So I'm really looking forward to staying in race shape. And I think also the race is not, the field of the riders is not as packed as Wörthersee, for example, or the last race also in the hills. There are less pros on the start line. It's good, maybe making a better result than the last time. So we can enjoy more the racing in front, maybe racing even for a podium. I don't know if the shape is already good enough. But I think, I prepared pretty well. And yeah, the race is something unknown. It's the first time ever that they organize it. And also for me, I've never done a gravel race in this area. So but from the profile, it looks like more like, as I said, a climbing race. You have 2,400 meters of climbing on 114 kilometers. That means, it's climbing, maybe not super steep as it says from the homepage, but anyway, it looks like more hilly than the previous races. As we know from the paper, it's quite a hilly course, but I think I'm not so sure how the terrain actually will be. I saw on Facebook and on social media that the course is quite rocky in places. So we will see tomorrow how rough it will be. But I think, as the organizer says on the website, it's like there is one section it's very rough and where you have to be careful, but the rest is all very smooth and not so technical, nothing to walk. So I think I can choose not like a 45 millimeter tire, but not much more. I think fast and pressure and everything. We check here, there was a lot of rain in the previous days, so maybe it's a little bit muddy in places. There's also slightly rain in the forecast. On the race day, it looks pretty good. We have to see, but there are not many things. I was expecting actually to be here at the race with the new Pulse Machete RX, but we also have a delay on this, so this would be a perfect test for the new bike. But maybe in in 2 weeks' time when the tracker starts, I hopefully have it and I can start there with the new bike. But every race, is so different now with this calendar of the gravel series, for example. Because last time the Wörthersee gravel was a very fast race. We had 36 average speed. This time I think I'm expecting maybe 25. I don't know. I always underestimate the speed with the gravel races, because the marathon usually you have like 20, 25, then it's already a pretty fast race. But here, with the skinny tires, you're pretty fast even in the downhills. So it's interesting always to see how fast you can go with a gravel bike. But this, as I said, it's like more like a mountain bike marathon race, a long climbs, also longer downhills. And we are making 2 loops and then we're going back to the finish line. So it's like also an interesting format what they have. It's like, a course that we will know tomorrow more when we make the recon of the course. But I expect not such a fast start as it was in the last races, like where the start was very important. Now you can like more, find your own rhythm, find a good pace that you survive from the beginning to the end with no, not really stress or hurry. So you find a good rhythm and get through without issues, then you probably have a good result. But it's the last races, they are always so hectic at the beginning. There are a lot of crashes. You have to be in the decisive moment. You have to be there. You have to be on the not losing the front group. Then you will never get back. But here, I think it's a little bit less stress and we can enjoy more the racing. Yeah. In terms of training, this race is for sure different than the Felden race in Wörthersee gravel. Because there it was like a lot of, especially beforehand, it was a lot of training of sprinting and a lot of anaerobic capacity. And this time I think it's more, your climbing legs are, better to have in this kind of race. So I did like more races or more training after the Felden race, like longer rides, especially to lower the lactate building rate. So I did one really long ride with 8 hours, more than 200 kilometers on the gravel bike to stay on the same bike. I had some shorter rides, even heat training I did to rise the blood volume a little bit. I did nearly everything a little bit, but the first goal was to recover from this tough combination of races. The hills was already like a 6-hour race, really demanding, and the Wörthersee was like so much sprinting and so much in the red zone that I really struggled to recover a little bit. So it took me a week to feel that the recovery is in a good level to start with intervals training. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but all in all I was feeling better with every day. And now, 2 days before the race, I feel really recovered and good to go. Tomorrow I do some kind of preload to get the leg tension back, and maybe some short efforts to get the heart rate up. But this was actually the biggest indicator that my recovery was still low, during the last 2 weeks or 10 days that my heart rate was not going up. It was even with the 1 minute intervals I did, my maximum heart rate was only 160 and I couldn't go higher. So I think it was clever to do not too much, especially hard intervals. Even the coach told me, take it easier, recover from the 2 hard races, and then the next race is not most important, but I see every race like, to see where I'm standing or where, if the direction is good and if the shape is still increasing. That's my biggest goal on this weekend, to see which let's say my shape, my form is now, and where I'm still lacking a little bit. Maybe my threshold is still not there where I wanted to have it, but I think I'm pretty sure I'm in a good way. But the last result was not what I was hoping for. 21st at Felden is not where I'm actually want to be. My goal was this year being more like always in the top 10. That's why I trained differently over the winter time. I trained much more harder intervals than I used to, and because the goal was being in the right group. Stockender Verkehr, aber gern. Yeah, and this was the idea, but I couldn't manage to get in the front group at Felden, but I hope to be there this time. And when the next big race is like the Tracker, I will, after that race here at Monaco, I will know where I'm still have to do some work. But I think the direction is good, but the last 2 races were not maybe 100% what I'm capable of. So I hope that I can do a better race now, and I'm gonna see.
Okay, let's check the track.
Yeah, today we were on the course of the Monaco gravel race. We started actually from the first feed zone, because otherwise it would be too long today. Even if we did only the one big loop, it was 2 hours 20, and that was already a little bit too much. But anyway, it was very useful that we saw it. The course is very rough in places. There's also a lot of asphalt actually, but off-road I would say it's always very rough and not good rolling at all. So we had a lot of talks during the ride, what we should ride tire-wise, also like gearing setup. I was thinking to go maybe to a smaller chainring because the climbs are pretty steep, but I think in the race I think we are faster, so the gears are not the problem. I think it was more the worry about the tire, because it's very rough and sharp stones and easy to flat, I would say. We tried actually, Tony and also Daniel Federspiel, they tried to follow me. I had already the big tires on and they were not flatting, but I was really scared that they have a puncture today. They managed to get through the whole loop without puncture. I was actually surprised, that it actually works out. But I think tomorrow in the race, in the hectic, I think you don't see everything, and you maybe can easily hit a stone or and flat the tire or even damage the rim. So I go safe. play safe this time in the race. Maybe it's not the fastest setup, but maybe the safest setup I can ride. Yeah, when we started today the ride, the recon, it was already drizzling a little bit. It was quite chilly, but it was not getting worse. And actually, in the end, it was even a little bit sunny. So maybe the forecast is similar tomorrow on Sunday. I think it will be a dry course, not too much mud. Maybe in some spots are like a little bit wet, so it's not so slippery. But actually, what I found out is that the roads are very slippery there. The tarmac roads, because they are in the shade and there is like this green stuff. Tony said slime to it on it, and I think if you go into the corners too fast, you will maybe slip away. So there's for sure importance that you take it not too serious in these windy, small, narrow roads. Also, the climbs are not super long. I would say there is one long climb per loop, and I think it's also going down a few times. So it's all in all, it's not maybe around 10 to maximum 15 minutes in one stretch. It's the longest climb. So it's alternating, I would say, the course. It's not a real climber course as I was expecting, but it was also 1150 climbing meters per loop. So we have to do it twice, and then the start and the finish. In total, it's about 2,500 meters of climbing. That's quite a lot. And as I said, sometimes also steep. So it's a demanding course for sure. Hopefully the weather stays dry. Maybe there's some rain overnight that makes it even more slippery on the tarmac. But it will be a really cool race, I think. A different race to last weekend, as I already said in the car. I think we're expecting like an average speed of 26 and not like 36 like last weekend. So a different race, more like a marathon race, I would say. No, I'm looking forward to some different kind of racing, and maybe it's, I think it will be good. Yeah, a little bit more insights about the bike setup. As I already mentioned before, I'm riding the 2.1, actually 54 millimeter Thunderbird, even with snakeskin to be really safe. That gives you much more safety, especially in the downhills where it's very rocky. And I think that the choice is really cool. I'm actually happy that I brought it with me. I was close, I had it in my hand, should I take it, should I not, but I had enough space in the car, and I grabbed the Thunderbirds, and I think that was a good decision. As you can see, maybe it's very close here, so hopefully it's not super muddy, but it fits nice through the bike. I think there's enough room for mud clearance and this stuff. So I really hope that gives me the benefits in the downhill. Also talked about a little bit about the gearing. I have a 44 chainring on the front. I was thinking about putting a 42 on. I think it's enough for in the race. I have enough range to get through the race without any problems, I think. The rest is like normal, like even raced in the last weekend. Now I'm racing the mountain bike pedals, also mountain bike shoes, just to be sure if I go off the bike on one point that I'm feeling a little bit more comfy. But it's not really necessary to. It's also possible to go on the road shoes and road pedals. Yeah, chain guide. I think it's also quite good to have here. I have this special one to use. Yeah, and the rest is like, yeah, I'm always using. Yeah. Normally, my favorite food before a race is steak with potatoes, but I don't see potatoes here on them, and I think French fries maybe. I really like that. And maybe I saw on the other table some gnocchi. So starchy carbohydrates it's great carbo loading for the race. Maybe a small beer.
Yeah, now we're sitting in the car on the way back home. I want to make a little reflect from today's race. Monaco was on the menu. I had actually a really good sleep this night, a long sleep. I think nearly 9 hours. Yeah, I wake up one time during the sleep because it was raining a lot, and in the morning you could see everything was wet outside. But the rest of the day was actually really good weather, like the forecast was. So I had a nice breakfast early, nearly 3 hours before the start. Coffee, bread, with jam, everything I want. Yeah, then the warm-up was pretty good. We started from our house to the venue in the mountains. Just a 30 minutes warm-up with some 2 times 30 seconds sprints to make the legs ready. It was actually important because the start was again very fast. It was not a big field of elite riders, but we had a separate start with all the others, and it was quite hectic. It was a slightly downhill start until the first sharp right, and we had there was full gas climb for a few minutes before the hectic part really started. The first descent was chaos. Again, it was wet. The gravel, the stones, everything was wet from the rain overnight, and also some really big water puddles were there. But to my surprise, not many flats. At least I couldn't see any on the first descent. But but you could see that people were a little bit scared not to flat already at the beginning in the first 10 minutes. And as soon as we hit the tarmac, there was already a split. I was not in the leading group, I found myself a little bit back. Not too far, but as always in the gravel races, as soon as you are not in the leading group anymore, it's really hard to get back to the front. But we chased, and I was not sure which position I am. I was thinking about maybe 20s or something. I don't know actually how it was, but I had good company, good, well-named guys riding with me. And I was not super happy about my position, but I felt like the tire choice and everything was right, so I could continue and waiting for the really rough part of the race to maybe make some places back. And I hope that I could chase and that the gap to the front gets not too much. But already half an hour in the race, I saw that the front group is already out of sight. I couldn't see them anymore, and but already some guys were dropping back from the lead. So the speed was horrendous from the top guys. And but we also did group of us was also quite big, like maybe 10 guys riding together, worked well together. And again, after every rough part there was one really rough climb of the race, in the race. And I could see that I had the better tire choice. But they were still fighting for their positions and tried to keep my lead or staying on speed. But I saw that they were struggling a little bit and they were costing them energy to maintain on these rocks the speed. But yeah, I was hoping that not hoping, but I thought if I continue with this speed, people will have mechanicals, maybe some flat tires or other stuff. What can happen on this rough terrain? But actually, not much happened. A few punctures I saw during the whole race, but not really a lot. It's really funny that it's interesting learning from my side that you can get through that through this kind of track, really rough track. I would say even on a mountain bike, I would say it's possible to puncture there, but on a gravel bike, it's always a surprise to me how fast you can ride with a gravel bike. Like the winner had more than 30 average speed. And I also checked it once during the ride, and we had 28 at that point average speed. I said, oh, "Fuck, that's much more," and I was expecting. So it's always a surprise to me this gravel discipline, my new home. No, it was during the ride. Or during the race, we had there were some guys coming back. There was not much, coming from the back. I was more gaining positions. But in the end, I got into the top 10. So that's really cool. I think was my goal, to get to the 10th position, or in the top 10. But I think with a little bit better day, it was quite solid. But with better legs, I think I could do even a few more places. Better, maybe top 5. It's not so far away. I think they were so on the result list, maybe 1.5 minutes or 2 to top 10, top 5. So that's not really bad. But I think we get some good time back, because during the race we were on one point maybe a little bit further back. I had a really good finish, I would say. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so I finished 10th this Gravel Monaco race. But as I figured out later, now in the car, I'm actually not in the result list, so I still have to work to get me back on that place. Strange, because when I picked up the medal, the qualification medal for the Worlds, they told me I'm 10th. Now I'm not showing up there, so we will see if I already sent them a message that they hopefully can put me back on the result list. Yeah, a resume of this trip. I would say it was a really adventure. All in all, I mean, it was quite a trip. 9-hour drive in the car. Then we had a first time ever booked something by Airbnb. Or actually, my friend Daniel booked it, and it was a strange house. We lived together with the whole family. They had my birthday party going on there, and it was fun. But it was tight a little bit, but it actually was sound with the whole experience. The adventure of Monaco Gravel. Well, and I think I was expecting more or less like this. I think my experience is like a lot, and I can already see on the data, on the paper, what I have to expect. And it was, from my side, it was clever to have the Thunderbird with me, like the 2.1 Thunderbird. I think that gave me a lot of confidence in the tricky downhills, and I was pretty sure that I don't flat. And I think all in all, I think it was safety for me was the right decision. Putting any risk in this kind of race makes not really sense. Yeah, it was a fun race. I knew that the course suited me better than other, like the last weekend, the Wörthersee Gravel. So it was a lot more climbing. That all, I think we had a really good time together. I think it's every time it's a kind of a learning process to improve, but I think there at this time, I would say the only thing to change is maybe next time we better book by booking.com or something else. Not that Airbnb. It was a little bit strange. I mean, the people were nice, but I find it like if I book something, it was a decent price also, then you expect maybe a little bit more room for yourself, because we were all in all, 5 people doing this event, and then living with other 4 people in the house is a little bit strange. But it was a fun experience. And we enjoyed also, we went to Monte Carlo, looked to the nice ship's yacht. And yeah, we had some nice dinner also. And it's a beautiful area, actually, with all the small villages in the mountains. I think there's something, it's something that I'm keeping in my head, and it's always good if you look back and you have like some experience what you made. Also, the result was, as I said, quite okay. Could be better, but I think I was not expecting you, Katoni. I was not expecting much more because I was not feeling 100% recovered the whole week. And actually, today was even a really good day in terms of recovery, but I still feel like I was not, the last 2 weeks, I was not training that much, so I couldn't build up the fitness. So I was not on my greatest shape, but it's, I think the way is good how it goes. And yeah, no, so far, no complaints, and looking forward to the next event already.